Hey, what's up everyone? I'm Frankie Cena and this is Open Mic Live Show number 7. We have 24 acts tonight. We have our under 18 category back, our over 18 category as always. Each singer is going to perform and then the judges are going to give feedback to the priority acts. At the end of the episode, their favorite performers will move on directly to the semifinals and their second favorite performers will receive 75 votes. So make sure you vote for your favorite if they don't make it to the next round. To begin, we need to meet our judges. A&R for Sony, Thames TV, and Future Music, Chris Grayston. International vocal coach, mentor, and owner of Vocalization Studio, Julie Miles. And A&R at Polydor Records, Universal, Leon Haynes. Our first performer of the night is Tara Sadiq.
I looked across the dance floor and saw you staring at me. Yeah. I thought that I was dreaming, but you grabbed my hands and said, I've been waiting for you, baby, grab my hands now. Let us dance all night until we have just blown up the roof. Remember now how we get down in my house and dance the way that we've been doing the new age disco. Hey, disco, hey, disco, the new age disco. You're way too smooth with the way you move. You're making me kind of nervous. Yeah, I can't believe this is happening to me. Yeah, ooh, I've been waiting for you. Baby, grab my hands now. Let us dance all night until we have just blown up the roof. Remember now how we get down in my house and dance the way that we do the new way disco. Everybody wanna disco, disco.
Next up is 17-year-old Red Rainer.
Remedy, always searching for the charming remedy for a quick fix. You want those butterflies inside or a chill down your spine. Can't blame you, you just wanna feel alive. But ain't never enough, is it? Always trying to impress, yeah, it ain't worth the stress. No, yeah. Pour yourself a glass, take off your mask, let your head down low. Learn to listen to the music, yeah, we will be going through it. That's why I reach for the remedy, remedy. always searching for the charming remedy for a quick fix.
Here is Jess Scott.
I'm not being fake by being nice, I'm being mature. They call me the bad guy for liking the enemy. Somehow I end up fighting on both sides of the war, running back and forth on no man's land, it's killing me. Shots are thrown, lanterns burn, nothing's aimed at me, I'm the one who gets hurt. Shots are thrown, lanterns burn, nothing's aimed at me, I'm the one who gets hurt. Stop putting me in the middle. You're both right in your ways, or the wrong to say you're only good. If you think you're not bad, you're wrong. We all are a little. If you make me choose, then I guarantee I won't choose you.
Our next performer is Lily Dora.
You need to give it up. Had about enough. It's not hard to see. The boy is mine, my love. Do you ever dream of candy coated raindrops? You're the same, my candy rain. What would you do if your son was at home, crying all alone on the bathroom floor cause he's hungry? And the only way to feed him is to sleep with the man for a little bit of money, and his daddy's gone. So I'm smoking rock now, in and out of lockdown. I ain't got a job now. So for you, this is just a good time, but for me, this is what I call life.
Our last performer of this set is Maggie.
I know right now it feels like the end. Don't know who you can call a friend, but I've gotta tell you, and this is a promise, that it gets better, that it gets better. To the girl that thinks it's all her fault, believe me when I say that it's not. Got so much to do and not enough time. You're losing your mind. Oh, got so much to lose. You say you'll be fine. I know that's a lie. I let you take a minute to just breathe. Oh, breathe. Oh, breathe. Breathe, oh breathe, oh breathe. To the girl that's always overthinking, her mouth is dry and her head is spinning. To the girl that's awake till the morning, alone with her thoughts, till the new day is dawning. To the girl that thinks it's all her fault, believe me.
What a great way to start the show, and it's great to have our under 18 category back. Congratulations to those 5 performers. Let's hear what the judges say, starting with Chris.
Well, I had to just pinch myself there. I think we're suddenly getting a competition here. The last few shows and the way this has started, we are really getting a competition. The youngsters, although these are under 18s, or probably the older age of this, 15, 16, 17, absolutely smashed out of the park there, really. I thought it was brilliant. I thought we saw couple of brilliant originals, and obviously Red Rainer and Maggie are our priority acts. Both brilliant originals, both super backdrops for different reasons. I thought they were both very creative, very interesting, but not too impacting that it took away from the actual performance. I love the projection idea from Maggie to give like a bit of a video style to it. You know, but loved her original, and I loved her dynamics. And with Red Rain, I would have just said that, you know, it's a nice chilled, cool vibe. I'd have gone a little bit more with that as well. Just kind of let yourself just a little bit loose. It felt like you wanted to, and maybe another song or a bit more into the performance you would have done. But, you know, I'm being picky. I thought they're very, very strong contenders for this competition. Well done.
Thank you, Chris. Julie.
Yes, I'm excited already because that was a really, really strong start. And you know, we've got to remind ourselves that these are teenagers. You know, they're some of them are just starting out, but they are not the finished article. That, you know, they're still in their training ground, and we've got some really, really knockout performers there. Two priorities that I was really looking forward to seeing, because I do remember them from last time. Red Rainer, absolutely gorgeous voice, so current, like the little touch of breathiness that you've got there, but still managing to get quite a lot of edge through on it. So yeah, very, very commercial sound. I think you're a really, really cool girl. I think you know yourself. You know, I know you used the same backdrop, but I think it was worth being used twice because, again, really added to the vibe. I think just, if I'm being super, super critical, just watch the coolness kind of doesn't become too contrived. Make sure that coolness is just something that's coming naturally and you're not having to try too hard. But really great song as well. Actually, maybe just I was struggling to find a hook, but there was a lot of different dynamics going on there, so it's maybe one that you need to listen to twice. But really loving your work. Maggie, really gorgeous setting, you know, whilst Red Rainer's was very, very kind of busy and very kind of urban. That was really quite tranquil and just very, very professional looking. So I really loved that, projecting onto the wall. Really gorgeous voice, a lot of depth to your voice. I think I would like to hear you bring out a little bit more dynamic, and I think that will come because one of the other things that I wrote down was just engage more. I did feel that it was just a little bit of a bit safe. I think you just need to let go and lose yourself in the story, in the lyrics, and I think that in turn will really, really help with those dynamics. But definitely two strong performers in that round, both with originals, so really well done.
Thank you, Julie and Leon.
Yeah, really good start, to be honest. Always super impressed, you know, with the under 18 categories when they, you know, come on board. You can just definitely see the enthusiasm and passion, you know, behind their performances. And I guess just to add a couple more bits to our priority acts. First, Red Rainer, you know, agree with other judges, like really cool backdrop and artwork going on there. Clearly, you've got a good identity, you know your image, and you know you're owning that, to be honest. So there's definitely, you know, something quite marketable about how you presented yourself. Great framing, and yeah, I like the song. I guess there could have probably been possibilities for something a little bit stronger, something a bit more hooky, to be honest, because I felt like it was kind of missing that element. But you know, you've got other things in place, and obviously you've done that original song, so it's just about developing that further, you know, to try and work on things that really connect with the audience. And then with Maggie, again, you know, really lovely as well, you know, quite minimal, but still very effective. I love the projection on the background as well. And also just good use of the filming, just panning out, just creating a bit of, you know, intent and desire from the audience to see what else is going to come next. Really good voice, but I guess for me, I would also like to just hear something a bit more distinctive, just in terms, you know, something that separates you out, to be honest, from everything else. But good start from everyone overall.
Thank you, Leon. Our next performer is Kira.
to the full 180. Crazy, thinking about the way I was. Did the heartbreak change me? Maybe, but look where I ended up. I'm all good already, so moved on. It's scary, I'm not waiting. If you don't wanna see me dancing with somebody, if you wanna believe that anything could stop me, don't show up, don't come out, don't start caring about me now. Walk away, you know how. Don't start caring about me now. Aren't you the guy who tried to hurt me with the word goodbye? So it took some time to survive you. I'm better on the other side.
Here is 13-year-old Lewis Simmons.
I got a feeling I'm going down. I can't control it and it's making me frown. I got no reason and I got no rhyme. I gotta watch my back all the goddamn time. I'm going down. I'm going down, down, down. I'm going down. I'm going down, down, down. I am a king, so where is my crown? I'm going down, down, down. I'm going down. I'm on the ground, I'm gonna drown. These demons are clawing me and tearing me down. Don't make a noise, don't make a sound. I apologize, but I won't be around. I'm going down. I'm going down, down, down. I'm going down. I'm going down, down, down. I am a king, so where is my crown? I'm going down, down, down. I'm going down.
Next up, we have Aaron.
There's a lady who's sure all that glitters is gold, and she's buying a stairway to heaven. When she gets there, she knows if the stores are all closed, with a word she can get what she came for. Ooh, and she's buying a stairway to heaven. There's a sign on the wall, but she wants to be sure, 'cause you know sometimes words have two meanings. In the tree by the brook, there's a songbird who sings. Sometimes all of our thoughts are misgiven.
Our next performer is Becky.
Another marvelous breaking heart is taking over, and the violence causes Who are we mistaken? It's the same old theme since 1960. In your head, they're still fighting with their tanks and their bombs and their bombs and their guns. In your head, they're still dying. What's in your head? In your head, zombie, zombie, zombie. What's in your head? In your head, zombie, zombie, zombie.
Our last under 18 performer is Rye Williams.
Life's different now, will it ever be the same again? The new normal's a scary place, it's getting harder to explain. Distancing and face masks, struggling for breath, worried for those high risks, praying they have some strength. Can we get back to normal, the way I'd like to be? Missing how life was before, seeing who we wanna see. Can we get our life back to do the things we wanna do? Having the freedom of living this time is well overdue. What does the future hold? Will it be the same again? Missing all of the simple things. Driving
Another excellent set of performers. Thank you to those under 18 contestants. Let's hear what the judges think, starting with Julie Miles.
Well, thank you, Frankie. Well, we've had nothing but good singing in this whole round. I am so impressed. Just some amazing vocalists in that first round. Just reminding though that, you know, it's not, as we've said time and time again, we're not just judging on vocals. If we were, it would be really tough today. Just great to see that we've got, you know, some really young emerging artists getting into original music, which is just what it's all about. We had two priorities there, Lewis and Ray. So Lewis, immediately you made me smile with your intro. You're 13 years old and you're talking about your first album. This is from my first album, and honestly, 13 years old, and you're talking like you're on the radio, and that you've been doing it for 10 years or whatever. So really amazing. I think you've got wonderful energy. I just loved your attack and your confidence around that whole performance. I thought the song had it had the elements of a really good song that is catchy, that you would want to listen to again, that you would potentially sing along to. I just think there's very little to say that is not positive about you. I think at 13, your voice is obviously, it's got some way to go in terms of development, and I think that will really benefit you when you start getting just a more rounded, more depth of tone. But I really do think you're one to watch. So super impressed with you, Lewis. And equally Ray, just such a, I actually almost kind of just sat back in my seat and just took a sigh. Your voice is absolutely beautiful. You, again, heaps of confidence. I thought you stood so well playing the guitar. And just there was just this energy that really made you want to still watch and listen. So I thought that was really great. There's a little bit of a country country style to the song and your voice, but not so much so that you would think, oh, it's it's a UK country rip-off. Not at all. There was just the right amount. And yeah, again, very, very little that I can say that's not just really, really well done. You're just on the right track, so just keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you, Julie. Leon.
Yeah, again, another great set of performance, to be honest. Yeah, with Lewis Simons, really good. Definitely in agreement with Julie. I felt like he made a great effort here with that song. It's got really good energy. There was a clear hook, for people to get behind. You can just picture people singing along to that once they get to know the lyrics. And he's got good stage presence and a confidence about his ability as well. And it was also interesting to note just the dynamics in his performance, where he had full energy and delivery in his vocal and, the guitar playing during the chorus elements. And then when it got to the verse, it dipped, and then there was clear differentiation between the two. So it's really a skillful maneuver for someone so young to be mindful of that as well. And then with Ray Williams, again, really good backdrop, fresh, minimal looking, good framing. And actually it was interesting, Julie touched on it, saying that he had a bit of a country vibe going on. In my notes, I actually wrote vintage, like the song has definite, country vintage type of style into it, basically, but it's not too much, there's still something there that can kind of cross over. So good job, well done.
Thank you, Leon and Chris.
It was quite interesting that both of our priority acts, Lewis and Ray, were quite similar. Both 13, both play the guitar, and definitely on the right road. I definitely think so. I'm going to maybe just be a little bit more picky, because although I think Lewis is a little star in the making, I thought the song was a little bit simplistic for me, and I think that I would have liked to have seen a bit more dynamic. Just push that through a little bit more. You can see you were trying to do it, and just really sort of, work on the songwriting. Work on the hook in particular, because I just think it needed to grab me a little bit more, and I think that it was just a little bit too simplistic. And I think if you vary it around, be a bit more clever with the lyrics, I would say. So that's the way I would go. Just keep songwriting. The more you work and collaborate with people, the more that you'll develop different techniques. And I think eventually you'll just crack it with a couple of really, vintage songs that will just be your flagship of your set, really. And Ray, similar, a confident start. I'd like to see you be a bit more distinctive. Maybe if you're going to go down that country route, kind of link that up a little bit more with your image, which wasn't completely congruent with that. And I had to concentrate a little bit hard on the message of the song, to be honest. So again, I would want to have that message and hook a bit more distinctive. So message of both of those, brilliant, on the right lines, as both judges have said. But work on the songwriting, keep writing songs. It's always better to have picking your best 5 from 50 rather than 5 from 10. Just keep writing, because you'll develop different techniques and observe what other people write and collaborate as much as you can, because you're doing most things right.
Thank you, Chris. We now head over to the over 18 category, starting with Charlotte. Next up, we have a duo performance. It's Echo Storms.
We set fire to the world, living life in a hedonistic blur. It's like we never learn. Maybe those crazy days won't return. Batten down the hatches, 'cause the sunlight hurts my eyes. We should have seen it coming. Oh, the end was no surprise.
All we need is time.
Time is never on our side.
Can't we just rewind?
Promise me you'll take our secrets to the grave. You hit me like a single tidal wave.
It feels like part of me has died. All life was a roller coaster ride. Now there.
Here is Melody Joy.
I keep fighting voices in my mind that say I'm not enough. Every single lie that tells me I will never measure up. Am I more than just the sum of every high and every low? Remind me once again just who I am, because I need to know. And you say I am loved, but I don't feel a thing. You say I am strong when I think I'm weak. You say I am held when I'm falling apart, when I don't belong. You say I am yours, and I believe. How much you say of me, I believe.
Next up, we have Elise.
When you try your best but you don't succeed. When you get what you want but not what you need. When you feel so tired but you can't sleep. Stuck in reverse. And the tears come streaming down your face. When you lose something you can't replace. When you love someone but it goes to waste. Could it be worse? Lights will guide you home and ignite your bones, and I will try to fix you.
Our next performer is James Westerby.
I can still feel my feet cooling the water. Traces of sand in the sun on my skin.
Here is Father's Medicine.
I ain't never gonna take a backward step, cause I passed that test. There's a part that's left, but I'm never going back for it.
Live and learn.
I ain't never gonna walk the ground again, and I found that when things go one way, they always come right back round again.
Live and learn.
But when you put me in the picture, be sure to take it with you. Things get distant, can't see the difference.
Live and learn.
And when you learn how you're meant to live, everything becomes so positive, less negative, it's so obvious.
Live and you learn to grow and be a part of something more. Something more, something more. Even though it had to take us all this time. Who would have thought it? Who would have thought it?
Our last performer of this set is Izzy.
Don't make me feel bad for what I've done. I've been sitting here waiting for the signs to come. And I know you might not be the one I should be waiting for, but you'll be my passing phase until I become what I must become. And I hope you know, I hope you know, I hope you know, our love will conquer. And I hope you see, I hope you see, I hope you realize I'm the lady for you. I know you were digging, you've been searching for the chord. Brighter days turn dark and I'm scared. I want more. I'll never stray far enough.
So many goosebumps in that set. Very, very well done. Congratulations to our performers. I don't know how the judges are going to choose, but Leon, what do you have to say?
Definitely, always a difficult choice when you've got so many good performers. I guess I'll start with Melody Joy, one of our first who requested some feedback. Overall, I thought it was a good song, to be honest. I felt like it was a bit of a folk type of style of music you were doing, so there's definitely some room there, just in terms of mainstream market, but I think it could do with, just further development. Only critique I would say potentially, whilst it was a good song, I felt your vocal lacked a little bit of strength in certain parts. I felt like maybe it was a bit out of your range because there were some lower notes that you were singing, and the voice lost its impact and became slightly breathy. So there's probably some room there just to do a few more vocal practices or some kind of training just to kind of increase the range of delivery. But yeah, definitely you've got a clear image as well, and it was a cool backdrop, and it fit well with the type of music you did. So I feel like you've got those bits on point. It's just about a bit more development and training with the voice just to get that to really, warm around that instrument. And James Westerby, really good. Looked happy, good energy, great stage presence and engagement, with the audience. And as the song progressed, you interacted and you done a few point outs and stuff. So I really like that. And yeah, it was a good song too. Upbeat, clear hook. and a good voice, to be honest. So, it'll be interesting to see that, just, your development, if you're able to get through, to be honest. But great start.
Thank you, Leon. Chris?
I think as every show and every round we're going through, we're going to see some really strong acts not quite making it for little subtle reasons. And so, it's really pleasing to see the standard is generally going up and up as the rounds go through. Our priority acts this round, Melody Joy, I think from previous round, it was a well thought out visually. You can see you put the guitars in the background and that was well thought out. Wasn't quite sure of the angle going down and the distance was quite right. So just these little picky things, you compare it with some of the other videos we've got there where, Echo Storms have just gone out, no holds barred and almost given us a video. You can see what could be possible. And, that's one angle. As well as that, songwriting wise, it was, like a lot we see that it was just lost a little bit in the message because you just didn't drive it through. You just didn't necessarily really connect with it as emotionally as I'd want to. So I kind of felt I really got that message, and that will be what you need to work on, just more stage presence, I guess, although you're not on a stage, obviously, you're doing it online, but you get what I mean, hopefully. James, right from the start, it's a lovely, smiley, engaging performance. It grabs me and connects me from the start. It had a jolly melody and, a really good feel song. You could really imagine that being a hit. If you had to be critical of anything, it was a little bit visually dull. But other than that, love the song and love your energy.
Thank you, Chris. Julie?
Yeah, so already I know we're going to have such a tough decision by the end of the show. So 2 priority acts, Melody Joy and James. So I think, to be fair, Melody, after we had 2 pretty strong original acts, I guess it was just a bit of a downer that you chose to do a cover. And I think that, although you didn't do it as in the original, you did bring something slightly unique, I guess. I just don't think it was unique enough. And maybe, you were set up for us to be slightly disappointed because you followed such an amazing video and 2 amazing songs. But I just felt that overall it was just a little bit static. You had actually set yourself up to look like, you definitely had a real original vibe. So there's definitely, image-wise, there's definitely something there. But you need to work on something that really, really defines you, that's going to leave us with a lasting memory of what you performed, what you said, the way you sang it. And yeah, to Leon's point about the vocal, definitely some work needed, just in terms of strengthening that voice and just, enough to really drive that chorus through. James, that was a bit of yin and yang there, because you really did kind of pop with energy. Just such a likable guy, and I remember you from last time. I think you've got a hugely commercial voice, you've got a beautiful tone, and I just think you genuinely want to make people happy with your music, and that is definitely working. Chris is definitely right. It was just lacking visually, which is a shame because you've got so much internal energy. It would have been nice to just have that pop on the screen a little bit more, but a really, really strong contender. Very enjoyable first round of the overs.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you, judges. Our next performer is Lewis Scobie.
When she wants her right to pierce like a knife, she waits till you look and shows her teeth when she smiles. Truth be told, she wants to be showered in gold. She's not the one who should be getting the blame when he had intentions for a different game. But she cried like a child who's been caught outside in the rain. Whoa, what a shame for such a pretty good thing to go to waste. And it feels like it's gonna be burst at the seams. All the tensions it created needed to be released. stick your back to the wall. Keep your eyes off your phone, cause you're not gonna get the call. The hardest part for you is moving on. But she had intentions and a game of her own, but she won't wanna play them when she's all alone.
Next up, Stina Hellberg.
I'll tell you what, I'm trying my best. And I'll tell you what, I'm trying not to fall behind. Through this long night, I've been up thinking by myself. I've been thinking through this long night. I've been up dreaming by myself. Oh, I've been dreaming, oh. I've been dreaming, oh. I've been dreaming, oh. Trying my best. And I'll tell you
Here is Vanna Lucy.
When tomorrow comes, I'll be on my own, feeling frightened of the things that I don't know. When tomorrow comes, and though the road is long, I look up to the sky, and in the dark I found truth that I won't fly. And I sing along, I sing along, I sing along. I got all I need when I got you and I look around me and see a sweet life. I'm stuck in the dark, but you're my flashlight. You're getting me through the night. Kickstart my heart when you're shining in my eyes. Can't lie, it's a sweet life. I'm stuck in the dark, but you're my flashlight. You're getting me through the night. 'Cause you're my flashlight. You're my flashlight. You're my flashlight. Oh, I see the shadows long beneath the mountain tops. I'm not afraid.
Our next performer is Ella.
I try to ignore all the pain that is come and gone before, so I keep moving on. I keep my head down, always pushing forward, but the world wants to keep me on the ground. I won't let it keep me down. The wheels keep turning round and round.
Next up, it's Corin.
I've got it all in my head, don't you?
Just 2 performers left. Here's Charity.
My life has changed in such an unpredictable way. What are we doing here? We should be jumping up out of fear. So I scream and I shout and I laugh. I'll do anything for a second chance. It's not our fault that we were left with the world so in this mess. Wake up from the world inside your head. Wake up, mother says just a it's our golden night. We're sitting here like wilting flowers. It's our final chance. We just want to see our children dead.
Our last performer of the night is Anthony.
Yes, I do. I believe the one day I will be where I was, right there, right next to you. And it's hard, the day just seems so dark. The moon and the stars are nothing without you. Your touch, your skin, where do I begin? No words can explain the way I'm missing you. Deny this emptiness, this hole that I'm inside. These tears, they tell their own story. Told me not to cry when you were gone. But the feeling's overwhelming, it's much too strong. Can I lay by your side next to and make sure you're alright? I'll take care of you. I don't wanna be here if I can't be with you tonight.
Well, show 7 is definitely one for the books. Congratulations to those 24 performers. Let's hear what the judges think of that set of singers, starting with Chris.
Such a range of singers and artists. I'm really loving it. You know, it's so interesting to see what everyone's trying to do. It's made it such an interesting show. You know, I'm going to work backwards to the priority acts. And firstly, Anthony. You know, Anthony, you got a super vocal, but it just feels like it was a missed opportunity to stamp who you are as an artist. We must have said that in previous shows countlessly. And in a show of really small margins, doing a cover is just going to lose out on marks. It's just not going to make the grade. And I think I would, if I was you, I'd really go back to finding who you are as an artist and then really making songs creative, starting to write your own songs and find out who you are and what you want to portray as an artist. Because it's great if you love singing, it's great if you want to get up on stage and entertain people, but if you want to be an artist, that is something completely different. And so maybe just decide what you would like to do. Sorry to be harsh, but that's where I feel you're at. Lovely vocal, yeah, love what you're doing, but this competition is about finding an artist, and that's slightly different. Lewis Scobie, we loved you first time round. And as much as I'm going to give feedback for you, I think this is a really good opportunity to go back to some of our under 18s, which I were trying to comment on. I thought Lewis was really distinctive with his playing. He committed to it, his dynamics, his drive. And that's where I felt Lewis Simmons and Ray Williams in the unders needed to have. So if you could adopt a bit more of that, Lewis Simmons and Ray Williams, I think you would be going in the right direction. However, the flip side of that is towards the end of the performance, Lewis, it felt that you were slightly drowning out your vocal, and so I think getting that balance right is really key for you, and making sure that vocal is really hitting, above the guitar, really resonating through to us. And then lastly, Stina Helberg, I hope I'm saying that right. There's something about you that I'm just mesmerising. I was the one that stuck my neck out. I think the other judges will say last round. I felt there was something about you, and I think it again now. I think the tone, the dynamics, what you're doing in your presence, I think is really good. And I hope that we're not getting a Marmite effect with you. And I hope maybe the other judges are seeing what I'm seeing and I'm not just out on the limb there. But I thought that was a fantastic performance. It really captivated. I think you've got something.
Thank you, Chris. Julie.
So yeah, I'm just going to reiterate that we've had some really, really great vocalists throughout this whole show. Just really, really impressive, really enjoyable. And we had 3 super priorities there. So I'm going to start with Lewis. Remember Lewis from last time? I'm sure it was a holiday song you sang. It was like a drinking song or whatever. Anyway, you definitely got us going. You came full of attack again, so really, really good. It was a great song, definitely one that you would only have to listen to it a couple of times and you would immediately be able to sing along. I think I do appreciate, your, that you sing with your own accent. It's a really nice, well-rounded voice. I would say just work on finding some characteristics in it, because sometimes, particularly, and I think Chris was saying about the chorus, it was just getting a little bit, just maybe a bit too much. Just be careful that doesn't become too harsh, and you do find just the unique characteristics, and so even though you're singing kind of quite full on songs, still find some beauty in your voice. So I would just work on the tone a little bit more, so that it doesn't just come across as too heavy at times. I thought that because of your superb energy, I felt that you were battling with your background, because whilst it was a beautiful room, it really contradicted what you were all about. So if you do make it into the next round, which is going to be the semi-finals, let's up the game with that and find something a bit more creative. Stina, yeah, I thought there was a lot of positives, and I do get what Chris is saying. There's almost like a bit of an unspoken, just some sort of aura about you. But I think, again, to Chris's point, are you Marmite? I think some people might be struggling that they're having to just delve too deep to find what you're all about. And I think, voice has got real kind of hypnotic, mesmerizing qualities. But I think maybe the song is was for me just a little bit too deep. I think I was struggling to find the hook, but definitely something about you. So let's see. I would definitely be interested to see more, but just don't hide yourself too deeply, if that makes sense. Anthony, absolutely gorgeous voice. So again, I'm going to quote Chris, talking about becoming looking to see what kind of artist you are. And I'm not actually sure that you really are an artist. I do think, and I might be completely wrong, but I guess if you had written some songs, then you would have sang them instead of a cover. But I think, some singers are just happy to sing and entertain and do it because they love it. And I kind of do see that about you. Beautiful, rich tone, very, very classic. And if you are struggling to have an original, work with somebody, get somebody to write something for you. Because whilst you might not be a real kind of current pop sound, there's definitely kind of hints of, Michael Bublé has done incredibly well. So I could see you becoming a bit of an artist like that, but you would need to come up with some original music, whether you'd written it or not. But I really did appreciate the tone. And again, I'm going to just say something similar as I did with Lewis. I felt that because there was so much beauty in your voice, your background just didn't add anything. It really, really detracted. So if you did make it through to the next round, again, a little bit of thought to just, to just underpin the beauty that's in your voice.
Thank you, Julie and Leon.
Yeah, some really good feedback from the other judges. Yeah, just hopefully, you know, all the performers can really take it on board in a positive light and, you know, just use it as stepping stones for further progress and development, which is always the aim here. I'll start straight in with Lewis Scobie. Again, I agree with other judges, you know, very confident musically, you know, great musicality, melodic progression was good, your energy was there, you know, and obviously, you know, you owned your native tongue of Scottish accent as well, and I guess it added a little bit of uniqueness to the performance. But again, as Chris alluded to as well, you've always got to be mindful of these kind of things, just that they don't go a bit too over the top as well. I guess the only thing I could say aside from that, you know, it was a really good song. Just image-wise, you know, I struggled to, you know, work out actually where you would fit, what the identity was. So that's just something to factor in, because you definitely got, you know, an idea of how you want to come across performance-wise. Your song structure is really good. So I just think you should also start thinking about, you know, your actual positioning, you know, just within the grand scheme of things in the actual marketplace. Stina Helberg, I thought it was a little slow to start with, but you definitely, you know, have something about you that's intriguing to watch. For me personally, I felt like you could probably have had a different song to perform. I didn't find this song particularly engaging. I'm not sure if it was, you know, maybe the hook wasn't really too prominent, or I couldn't really follow along with, you know, where the direction of the song was going. So I think, again, it's another important fact. Obviously, it's great to write original music and perform it, but the song you choose to perform is also very important too. And I guess it's always very critical that you find songs that are, you know, not only good representations of yourself as an artist, but also songs that can engage and capture people's attention in a very short space of time, because you never know, you know, what the scenario may be going ahead. And then yes, with Anthony, the final performer who wanted feedback, again, really great voice. I, however, found that it was a little bit stop-start throughout your performance. I'm assuming it was something to do with just the breathing that potentially needs a bit of work. So as you're taking deep breaths before you go into each sentence, I felt the performance was a little bit broken. It didn't flow smoothly, and I would have liked to have seen it just flow a little bit better. And again, just as Julie said as well, again, if you're not really strong on writing songs, there's a bunch of people that you can connect with, you know, online these days, who can just help with songwriting and just find your own identity there.
Thank you, Leon. Thank you, judges. It's time to find out who is moving on to the next round and who will receive extra votes as the judges' second choices. Let's hear what they have to say. We begin with the judges' runner-ups, starting with Chris.
Well, my 75 points goes to someone in the under 18s, you know, representing the lads. We just want a slightly more distinctive song, so work on that. But we think got bags of talent at Lewis Simons.
Thank you, Chris. Julie.
Yes, and it gives me great pleasure to give my 75 points to a proper young artist. We all absolutely loved her. Maggie, 75 points to you. Well done.
Thank you, Julie. Leon.
Yes, my 75 points go to a real confident musician, you know, great energy. Again, think about the image, you know, and how presentation is, but otherwise, well done to Lewis Scobie.
Congratulations to our runner-up performances. Who's moving on to the next round? Chris.
Well, we were hugely impressed with the efforts that this particular duo had gone to. Really captivating visually, really up there. I think the one thing we were worried about was how much it was being produced. And I think for the next round in the semis, we're going to be super, super hot, that we're getting a really live feel. So if they can keep that visual and give us a live performance, then they're going to do really well in the competition, but they're going to have to just adjust that. But well done, Echo Storm.
Thank you, Chris. Julie.
This particular artist just really, I felt, brought joy to their performance. Real pleasure to watch. And I think, you know, unless you absolutely love what you do in this industry, you should be doing something else. So James, we really, really got that from you. You are my number one choice, and that is James Westerby.
Thank you, Julie. One spot left, Leon.
Yeah, and this spot is going to go to another great artist, you know, great identity, cool image, great backdrop and art. So you definitely got the artistic side in order. Let's just see you think a bit more about your song choice and deliver it with 110%. But great work to you, and well done to Red Raina.
Thank you, Leon. Well, there you have it, a very impressive show 7. If your favorite act didn't make it through, make sure you vote for them. I'm going to vote for Father's Medicine, but that's just me. Congratulations, everyone. We're going to see you for show 8 as the live shows continue. This is Open Mic. Tonight is live show 8 of Open Mic. My name is Frankie Cena. I'm your presenter, and I cannot wait to see 24 amazing acts perform for the judges and for your votes. As always, our priority acts are going to get a bit more feedback from the judges, but anyone can move on to the semifinals. 3 judges' choices will move on directly to the semis, and then they will give their second favorite performances 75 votes each. That's where you come in and make sure you vote for your favorite. Before we meet the singers, let's meet the judges. A&R for Sony, Thames TV, and Future Music, Chris Grayston. International vocal coach, mentor, and owner of Vocal Ovation Studio, Julie Miles. And A&R at Polydor Records, Universal, Leon Haynes. Thank you, judges. Our first performer is Alicia Lang.
Above me, the sky is pumped with gray clouds, not a star in sight. It used to be so bright, but something has changed. The streetlights are cutting off empty roads and dark skies. I can't hear a sound. I just want the sun to rise. Empty roads and dark skies. I can't hear a sound. I just want the sun to rise. I'm standing here on this empty road, so cloud.
Here is O Ronnie.
There's a demon that haunts me in my sleep. So
credit. Follows me everywhere, too late to be gonna act like I'm confident, a gift to the world. But deep down inside I'm just this scared little girl. Maybe I should study demonology so I could be rid of this fear and hate inside of me. Maybe one day me and this beast could be friends, but until then my mind it isn't no ends. Maybe I should study demonology so I can be rid of the fear and hate inside of me. Maybe one day me and this beast could be friends, but until then my mind it isn't no ends. I'm getting old now, time to be on my own. But how do I do this when I am not strong? This snake of a deceit takes my energy, and I just want to be free. And even when I sleep and my body is arrested, snake, this demon, this slimy pest, it haunts my dreams, keeps me wide awake. My eyes are shut but my brain gets no break. Maybe I should study demonology so I can be rid of the fear and hate inside of me. Maybe one day me and this beast could be friends, but
Next up, it's Leona May.
Funny how you got me begging on my knees, saying words you wanted me to believe, oh, but I'm not your sideshow. Funny how it always starts out with love, then it fades away like it always does, oh. Also the story goes, and it felt like this, so darling, where you been all night? I've been ringing cool, then plays out all the time. She might, but you don't deserve my love. No, better off knowing just what you are. Try to play your cards knowing you'd lose them all, 'cause you chose. What a toxic waste on the time I spent on the aftertaste, planning my revenge. Oh,
Here's Barry.
Where does it come from when everything was outside, busted and blue? Out in the universe, through the lithium, busted and blue. I was asked by a computer, a shadow on the wall, an image made by Virgil to roll over a soul, to amplify the sirens and to find real amends on through the echo chambers to other worlds away. All my life, beam a light on me. I am a satellite and I can't get back without you.
Our next performer is Poppy.
met you on Sunday, fell in love on Monday, on Tuesday had it all planned out. You say that life isn't fair, you say that I don't care. Let me give you something to think about. These rooms are shaking, my heart is breaking. I look at you, you don't look back. There's something you don't know about
last performer of this set is Mia.
All of my life I knew what I wanted from love, but then one night you thought you would rise above. Now my heart is empty and you're gone. But if you didn't know by now, I stand up from the crowd. And if you ask me why, I wouldn't break down and cry. Yeah. I wouldn't break down and cry. Right before my eyes, I saw what you wanted from love. She stood beside you, and you fit like a glove. Now my heart is broken, but I'm not alone. And if you didn't know by...
Thank you to that first set of performers. Every single one a judge's choice. Very, very well done. Let's hear what the judges think of you this time, starting with Chris.
Yeah, you can see this one's going to be another tough show. I think that a lot of these acts are watching other shows and really seeing the best of everyone and taking a bit of that and putting it into their own performance, which is really great to see. So well done on that, and some really distinctive performances. I think of that particular group, I think a few just needed to watch the backdrops a little bit. There was quite a few that were dark. I don't think Leona May is one of those. I think her backdrop was nice and light, so she wasn't one that you could aim that at all. It was a good use of loop pedal. You laid up the performance well. Wasn't quite sure what the piano was at the front. I can understand that being a prop, but if you're not playing it, it sort of takes something a little bit away from the fact that you're not. I was almost waiting for you to sort of jump on it at one point, so it kind of felt like, in a way, a bit of a distraction, although I could see what you were trying to do. So, minor points, because that was good. Maya Kirkland, looks like you'd had a lot of effects on your mic there, and I think they need to call it on that. I loved your backdrop and what you did, but maybe what you could have done was just cropped in a little bit more and took out some of the brickwork and the incidental stuff, because it just would have framed a bit nicer. And sometimes the lights were coming in a bit randomly, was a bit distracting as well. So I guess my feedback is going to concentrate on that and just sharpen you up a little bit in terms of getting that in, allowing us to connect a little bit more because it was a little bit closer, and just cropping that frame a little bit more so we're not distracted by either bits. And I'm going to focus on that and maybe leave Julie to focus on your vocal performance and things like that, really.
Thank you, Chris. Julie.
Well, yet again, a really, really strong start. Great collection of vocals, some really, really standout originals, and some nice image as well. Some, people who really have, some singers have really taken care and consideration over how they looked and so on. Our two priorities, Leona, people are always impressed by loop pedal work, and the way that it layers, it's just really, really impressive. However, I think in limited time that you've got for this kind of show, I think maybe it wasn't the right platform for it. I would have much rather have seen a less busy performance that was kind of more about you, your voice and your playing. I just felt that it was a bit too gimmicky. As Chris said, the keyboard was there, but you didn't use it. So I just think you need more time with a live audience for them to really appreciate the precision that goes into loop work. You had a really great voice, great energy, but I would have loved it to be more about you than the gimmicks. Mia or Maya, really, really catchy original. I thought your vocal has definitely got real a current vibe to it. I could definitely hear it in today's market. I felt that the mix was just all wrong. We were hardly hearing any of the track, and the vocals were swimming a bit, which, you know, it kind of added to that overall dance vibe. But what completely distracted from that overall dance vibe was the setting. So you'd clearly decided to film outside, I think. But the fact that you'd kept your coat on, and, you know, you've got this really great kind of, you know, potential club track, but you're standing in your coat, and clearly, you know, the cold was probably not the best thing for your voice either. So I think you missed a bit of an opportunity to really, really shine, because I do feel that was a very, very strong original. I would like to see more, but in a different setting, where again it's just more about you, your voice and your performance, rather than worrying that you're kind of, you know, singing outside. But really strong start though, great 5 or 6 acts.
Thank you, Julie. Leon.
Yeah, again, as always, you know, great feedback from the other judges, and also, you know, really good start. You know, just want to commend all the performers for having the courage as well, just to put themselves forward to be critiqued in this way, you know, because it is difficult. I'll start with Leona May. Yes, great camera work, good voice, and, you know, overall good song structure. But I definitely agree with Julie, and I actually made a note of it myself as well. I felt like there seemed to be a lot going on, and the performance seemed slightly rushed. And I guess that's because you was obviously working at pace, you know, in haste to try to get through all of the effects and layer up the songs. And I guess it would have probably benefited you just to kind of simplify things a bit on this occasion, just to have more of a focus around, you know, your voice and a particular instrument, because what it ended up being was slightly cluttered visually, just because of the piano and the 2 mic stands, and then it appeared a little bit rushed as you tried to get through each element and layer of the song. But not to take away any credit from your vocals, and your musicality is definitely on point. Mia Kirkland, again, really good song, good dance vibe, and actually, you know, a good attempt at, you know, a chart sounding single, to be honest. It's definitely very on trend and current in terms of the sound. You know, you had a few drops that I could hear in there. It would have been great to obviously hear it from a proper PA system, but, you know, unfortunately, you know, circumstances won't allow that. My only critique, I guess, aside from a few other things, was that the performance seemed a little bit flat. Definitely, you know, the coat seemed to weigh you down a bit, and whilst the song was full of energy and, you know, it had a good, you know, vibe to it, your performance and the actual delivery of the song just seemed a little bit lacking of that same energy just to match up with it.
Thank you, Leon. Thank you, judges. Our next performer is Zara.
I look at you, looking at me. Now I know why they say the best things are free. I'm gonna love you, boy, you are so fine. Angel of mine. How you changed my world, you'll never know. I'm different now, you helped me grow. You came into my life, sent from above. When I lost the hope, you showed me love. I'm checking for you, but you're right on time. Angel of mine. Nothing means more to me than what we share. No one in this whole world can ever compare. Last night the way you moved is still on my mind. Angel of mine.
She's just 13 years old. It's Sienna Williams.
Silence fills this whole room, echoes in the dark. The words we leave unspoken are playing on my heart. that I used to see. Help me to believe that you're not giving up on us, 'cause it would mean nothing if I didn't have you, and I would feel nothing if I didn't feel you. There's everything to lose without you, and it would mean nothing if I didn't have you. Broken dreams and memories dancing in my mind, the shadow of a stranger. I know sleep is.
Next up is Isabel.
I'm in paradise, yeah. My mind is paralyzed, distorted by the light. I'm thriving in the night. Yeah, I close my eyes, I'm out of air, and I know there's nothing I want more than to feel you there inside my head. I need you tonight, oh, to take me to daylight. Oh, when I close my eyes, oh, there's nothing I want more than to feel you in my arms tonight. Oh, now it's late at night. Oh, no, there's nothing I want more than to feel you in my arms tonight. Take me.
Our next performer is Harrison Hartley.
You know what they say, tough times never last, but I'm pretty sure this'll all soon be in the past, and I know that we'll make it to the very end, like Vera Lynn said, yeah, we'll meet again. I see trees of green, red roses too, and I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yeah, we're in a lockdown, things are getting long now. Thinking about the past, hoping that your last praying that it stops now. Never-ending boredness, how you gonna sort this? Lying in your bed, can't get out your head, wish you could have bought this. Nearly out this mess, reaching the home stretch. Yeah, we're nearly done, we can see the sun thanks to the NHS. No more stupid rules, no more calls on Zoom. Time to be free, cause it'll all end soon. I see babies cry, I watch them grow.
Next up, we have Annie Mary Bell.
Day one, going to school to do my best, trying hard to get respect from you. Day two, running fast, people change, am I reading the same page as you? Well, I'll just keep on smiling, while you just keep on hiding. The words, they come so easy, but I'm afraid to speak. Week by week, day by day, I'll break you down, I'll have my say. Brick by brick, watch me rise today. Day three, Got an update on my phone, WhatsApp, you're alone, like me. Day 4, well it's time to settle scores. Put a post up on your wall for me. Well, I'll just keep on smiling while you just keep on hiding. The words, they come so easy, I'm not afraid to speak. We cry.
Our last performer in the under 18 category is Clove.
Maybe this time I'll be lucky. Maybe this time he'll stay. Maybe this time, for the first time, love won't hurry away. He will hold me fast. I'll be home at last. Not a loser anymore, like the last time and the time before. Everybody loves a winner, so nobody loved me. Lady peaceful, lady happy, that's what...
Thank you to that set of performers. Let's start with Julie.
So yes, again, great to see that the majority of the unders brought us an original. So absolutely fab. We had a bumper 3 priority acts all wanting feedback. Isabel was our first artiste. Thought that was a really great track. Again, kind of similar to one that we had just in the last section. Real, could have been in the charts, could have been in a club or whatever. The vocal I found was just a bit muddy, so I was really struggling to understand all of what you were singing, so it really did affect the diction. I can hear you have got a really nice tone to your voice, but it was very hard to just really kind of find a proper identity to it, so I'm not sure whether that was just your mix or whatever, but I would definitely work on crisping up that diction anyway. Thought there was nice engagement with the camera. You really did look into it quite a lot. Sometimes I think it just looked like you weren't quite sure. You hadn't fully committed. And I'm being super picky because I really do see huge potential in you. But I just think there were times that camera was just, you were just struggling to fully engage with it and just get a little bit of sparkle in your eyes. But very huge promise, real huge promise. Harrison, yeah, I remembered you from last time. Definitely something about you. And I appreciate what you're trying to do. You're kind of adding your own spin to some real classic songs, but I think we need more of your own spin. There's something very original about you. I kind of just like your whole demeanor, but it's just not original enough. You're kind of dipping your toe just about in the water, but we need more than that. So keep building on what you're doing, and gradually just get rid of the covers out of your tracks, and I think you'll be much more onto a winner. Annie Marie, yeah, so well done for bringing us an original. It did sound a little like it was probably you're probably just starting out in terms of that. So definitely more work to be done, but you have actually properly dipped your toe in the water. I think the track it wasn't quite good enough to really support that song and keep driving it. So definitely needed a better quality arrangement, I would say. And I think, you know, vocally, you need to work with somebody that can help you vocally. It was just a little bit shaky. There was a little bit of lack of control. And as you get more control and get more confidence with your voice, it'll kind of start unraveling, and we'll start hearing much more beauty in your tone. So, but you know, well done. You have well and truly dipped your toe in the water. Keep up with the originals. Get yourself, you know, better backing tracks, and work with a vocal coach so that you can really, really improve that voice.
Thank you, Julie. Leon.
Yeah, you know, always good variety of artists to, you know, look at. Always interested to see what everyone's going to do. Yeah, with Isabel, I found, yeah, it was definitely, you set the mood visually. You know, you had an idea of what you wanted to do with the performance of the song, so there was definitely some kind of cool mood lighting going on. I did find some parts of the song, your voice was a little flat in terms of the notes, or you probably need to just tighten up on, you know, maybe your scales and just hitting the notes a bit more accurately. And it was also just a little bit slow to build up, to be honest. And I think overall, just a bit more intent behind the performance, you know, so that it looks like everything was, you know, on purpose, that it happened and it was all part of an act. I would have liked to have seen. Harrison, very interesting and unique cover that you did there. I'm not sure that this was the right song choice for you on this occasion, to be honest. You know, you definitely got a good voice, and you've got some ability as, you know, a rap lyricist, but I'm not too sure if this was the correct cover song to do. I get what you was trying to do, maybe think a little bit outside of the box, but I just don't feel like it really had the desired impact on this occasion, I'm afraid. And with Annie Marie, yeah, agree with Julie. I felt like you seemed a little bit nervous, and I'm assuming those nerves probably affected, you know, the sound of your voice, made it sound a little bit weak. You definitely have a good tone, but you just should work on the confidence elements of that. And actually, it's a shame because I felt like it sounded like quite a good song. There was some potential there. And another, I guess, slight critique I would say is your backdrop and framing. There just didn't seem to be any real thought about it. You know, I'm not too sure what kind of message you was telling us, but it didn't really think that there was any intent just in terms of the location of your filming.
Thank you, Leon. Chris.
I think Julie and Leon have hit it right on the head with all three. I think there's elements of what I was going to say they've already covered, really. And so that's, you know, good testament that we've all sort of seen the same thing, and hopefully all the acts can take that on board. If we're all seeing that, it's maybe something to consider. But what I did like was really positive is all three of them were trying to find their own originality in what they were doing. And that's, you know, that's definitely on the right lines for sure. I think with Isabel, I've seen a lot of Isabel over the years, but I think Julie's got it absolutely spot on. Leon also said it took a little while to get going, is exactly what I put. And for me, there was maybe a little bit too much movement, which kind of made me feel disconnected a little bit from the emotional message of the song, which you can't do. I know you're not going to move, and it's probably contradictory. And you think, God, you know, we're always probably telling you to move and, you know, perform. But there is a art of kind of really nailing the emotion of the song and giving us movement, but don't lose that engagement and connection with us. And I think that you just need to sharpen and tune into that a little bit more, Isabel, because you're doing some great tracks, and I just don't want to lose what you've always naturally done very easily for you. And it's good that you're seeing you venturing into the dancier type track. But I think Leon and Julian, and maybe for me framing it a slightly different way, is pretty much on point, really. Harrison Hartley is exactly what I thought, just the wrong song choice, as Leon said. You know, it seemed a very weird song choice to suddenly doing a bit of a rap breakdown to, you know, very contrasting, you know, and sometimes those risks can pay off, but it needed a bit more creativity and a bit more of something that sort of pulled it together rather than being such a contrast. And so like the projection in the background, we saw that last week with an act doing that. So you've got some good ideas there, but maybe song choice is a really key one for you, and just to shape you as an artist is what I would say. And then Anne-Marie Bell, again, you know, there's some lovely elements in that. I think developing your songwriting is absolutely spot on. Perhaps collaborating, writing with songwriters, but also really important to find out what is the best key for you to be singing in, and songs to write in that key really would be maybe a good starting point, and get comfortability in that, because it didn't then showcase your voice in the best way, because it felt like it just needed sharpening up vocally. And I think you have got a nice vocal there. You could hear some nice moments in that, but because of maybe the key not quite suiting you, that would be maybe one area I would look to explore, and just writing a lot more. And again, it's been said already, the setting of the bedroom theme, I just didn't get it. It just didn't seem quite right with maybe a message, or as an artist you were trying to convey. So there seems to be some really distinctive points there with all three acts, but hopefully something you can really get stuck into, and rather than go away going, I don't really know where to go with that. Do you know what? By just sharpening all those elements, you could be a different act if you happen to go through to the semi-finals.
Thank you, Chris. We now move on to the over 18 category with an act that we don't know how to pronounce. It's kitten, chitin, sittin. I'm going to say kitten.
Give me one good reason why I should stay, and let it go your way like it always does. As if I haven't given you enough, as if I haven't given you enough. I want to hear those words from your lips, biting skin from my fingertips. Get a grip, I can't take it anymore. Kicking and screaming on my bedroom floor. I'm left uncertain, left unsure, such a chore. I'm getting bored. Give me something more. Tell me I'm the one you adore. Left uncertain, left unsure, such a chore. I'm getting bored. Give me something more. Tell me I'm the one you adore, the one that you adore. Tell me what this is, I just need to know. Are we moving forwards or are we letting go? Can't take the silence, hate to be alone. Can't break the tension out here on my own. I'm done with all these messy mind games.
Our next performer is Molly Parker.
Tastes like strawberries on a summer evening. I want more berries, and that summer feeling. Breathe me in, breathe me out. I don't know if I could ever go without watermelon sugar, watermelon sugar. Watermelon sugar. Watermelon sugar. Watermelon sugar, strawberries on a summer evening.
Here is Sierra McMullen.
I guess it's time now to let you go. How could this have happened so soon? You fought so hard, dear. Now lay and rest here. Go home to the moon and the sun. Hope you're proud of who I've become. And all that
Next up, we have Aria May.
Stop fighting the thought to hide away. Stop putting the light out on display. I don't want to keep feeling this away. Just want to embrace this brand new day. You're all that I want, you're everything. You're all that I need, make my heart sing. I don't want to just let time pass away. I know I need to say, wanna be fearless. Jump into this light with you. Just wanna be fearless. Do all of the things you do. Just wanna be fearless. Just wanna be fearless. Do you? I don't wanna just stand here kicking rocks. I don't wanna be reaching mountain tops. Run the race, it is fate for me to go. Stop saying I'll just go with the flow. No holding back, no hideaways. No thinking the sky is always gray. And I know you can save me, save me. Wanted you to save me, save me. Wanna be fearless. Jump into this light with you. Just wanna be fearless. Do all of the things you do. Just wanna be fearless.
Our next performer is Sam Gherkin.
Just last week we were chilling out in the sun. Before we knew it, the heavens started to fall. We grabbed our things and went inside, and it reminds me of the time when I slipped on cobblestones on that cold winter's night. I swear my fingers froze, but everything felt right. And then you held me close, making sure I was alright. I never wanted it to end.
Our last performer of this set is Shannon J.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. Dragonfly out in the sun, you know what I mean, don't you know? Butterflies are having fun, you know what I mean. Sleep in peace when day is done, that's what I mean. This whole world is a new world and a old world for me. And I'm feeling good. Stars, will you shine? You know what I mean.
Thank you to that set of performers, and thank you, Kitten, for clarifying your name. I will never forget it. Kitten, it's been noted. Let's hear what Leon has to say.
It has Kitten. Very good, very good. You got a very unique accent and voice in the way you deliver the music. You know, I really like it. It's quite quirky. You know, the red hair is quite impactful as well, so it helps to just create an image. I just felt there could have been a little bit more energy, a bit more punchy in terms of the overall performance that would have really made it enjoyable. But overall, I think it was a good song and good, overall performance from you. Aria May, I felt at the start, overall it seemed to be a little bit novice, a little bit basic in terms of the composition. And the lyrics I thought were really good, but I just felt the music sounded quite basic, and I felt your performance was still a little bit rough. It almost looked like I was watching a bit of a rehearsal, and I guess that kind of distracted from your engagement with myself as an audience and the wider audience, viewers basically. It kind of took your attention away from really performing the song. So there's probably two elements here to take away, like, your lyrical content, the flow and the structure of the lyrics of your song was good. I liked what you were singing about, but I felt like there could be some work done on the music, the composition, which is the two elements of what complete a full song. And then with Sam Gherkin, opposite, I think this flowed really nicely for me. It was a real patient and timely delivery. I didn't feel like you rushed or anything like that. The riff was good. You had a good voice. The only thing I would say needs work going ahead is just image. Who are you? What's the identity? And what is your fan base going to look like? And we get that kind of idea from how you present yourself as an artist. But definitely music and the song was good.
Thank you, Leon. Chris?
Yeah, some great feedback from Leon there. I think made some really, really great points there. So hopefully the artists can take all of that. And great as an intro from Kitten. Nice intro and certainly a distinctive image going on there. It did feel like it needed a bit more punch and a bit more drive. Would have liked to see more visually of the keys as well. And, maybe just a change up, just to make it a little bit more distinctive. On that side to back up other elements that you've got right. So maybe just bear that in mind. May, I think Leon was absolutely right. It felt like we were intruding on a little bit of a practice, like, what do you reckon to this song? And it didn't feel like it was a well polished, like you've done it 50 times, I've nailed it. It just didn't feel that. I felt the key playing wasn't really up to the standard of the vocals, and that's affected the tempo and the pace of it and the flow, and it just felt a little bit disjointed, like we're intruding on someone learning their piano skills. And I think that you really need to home in on that. They need to flow and be adding to the performance, not detracting and slowing down the pace and flow of it all, really. And Sam Gherkin, great name, certainly would play on that in terms of some imagery for your website and social media if you feel like it. Very easy on the ear. For me, I just would have liked to have seen a little bit more of a distinctive hook, but I instantly felt like I could hear that on the radio. That's it was more going towards maybe an album track rather than a first out there single to launch your career. So a bit more songwriting, a bit more snapping, that side of things. But yeah, Leon got it actually spot on with that group, so not much more I can add.
Thank you, Chris and Julie.
So if I'm completely honest, I really did think that first section just all lacked energy. I kind of feel a little bit flat. I feel like somebody needed to give them a boost or something. There was definitely a lack of energy and engagement, and that does go for the priority acts as well. Kitten, I did say that was how you pronounce your name. I just want that noted. There's definitely something quirky and original about you. There's something fun about you. However, that was the fun element was just lacking from that performance, and I think that's such a shame. You're original. You've got something really, really nice about that tone, but I felt that I felt like the vocal and the piano were kind of fighting against each other. I thought the playing was just a little bit too staccato. And there was just no engagement. I wanted to see your eyes in the camera. I wanted you to remember that that you are actually performing to an audience. It's not just you in that room. So I think there's all sorts of things that could be easily fixed that would really just would just kind of support what I think we all see in you, which is heaps and heaps of originality. I just think you're better than that. I think you're better than the effort that was put into the video. Aria, so yeah, I think it's all been said, you know, immediately I said it just needs more flow. I was immediately distracted that you had your music sat on the stand. I just think, you know, to actually do to actually record a video and you know, play using music or you know, lyrics or whatever was on there, it's not enough, because that is going to affect your flow. You can't engage the story when you're so busy, you know, focusing on actually trying to make it through the song. So that, you know, in terms of any other elements, it was really hard to kind of see past that. And to be honest, as an audience or a judge, I don't really want to have to kind of work my way through too much to actually get into the heart of a performer. So yeah, bit of a slap on the wrist for that. You know, do practice more and only record when you're ready. Sam, your voice was just like a breath of fresh air, absolutely beautiful. I wrote that I could listen to your voice all day, and I really, really feel that. But again, you're going to go on to the naughty step, because I just think there was just a lack of engagement again. You know, with such a beautiful voice and, you know, an original performer, you've got to remember that it's not just about you. And I know you're the centre of it, it's your voice, it's your music, but do remember that it's there for a purpose. It's there so that you can reach out and really, really engage, make yourself memorable, because you are so good. But to kind of see you glance around the room as you were recording your video, I just think you really missed out on making an emotional connection with us in more ways than just with that beautiful voice. If you make it through, really put some big effort into creating everything around you to support who you are as an artist.
Thank you, Julie. We have just one set of performers left tonight, and we start off with Marianne.
Silence screams the loudest, mind will rule the furthest. What's the biggest mistake you've ever made? Tell me more, tell me all. What's the biggest mistake you've ever made? Did it come in the shape of a man or a toy? What's the best lie you've ever told? Did it get you far? Did you win that boy? Rule out good reasoning and tell me why. Did you speak the truth? What did you say? Why does it hurt when it feels so good? Did you make you smile or drown in your pain? Silence screams the loudest, minds will rule the furthest. What's the biggest mistake you've ever made? Did it get you far? Did you win that boy? Take me back to your secret place where all was blue, no sign of shade. People think that you've got the gift. When they scream your name, they call it fame. Being free doesn't mean the world you think you are, but you're really not. Just paint your face to hide your shame. Did it get you?
Give it up for Ukulele Box Fox.
My house in Budapest, my hidden treasure chest, golden grand piano, my beautiful stereo. To you, I leave it all. My many artifacts, the list goes on. If you just say the words, I'll look them running on to you. To you, I leave it all. Hell for you. To you, I leave it all.
I'll fight my worst intention to call you up and ask you my questions. Oh, it's pointless, I know that we'd never get back what we had. So why are you in my head? I wish I was sick of it, but every time your memory fades, I wonder if you'll come back and stay. Oh, thought that you were something, so you left like it was nothing. Said you cared for me, well, guess you say that to anybody. And it's stupid that I still think maybe you're decent. The truth is, I won't admit I was strict, but you shouldn't have said hello. And you've always known your next words are gonna be, I have to go. And it's fine, I'll be alright. I'll take off flame and watch you burn. All of you and I burn. You and me, what a dream. Where we're secretly screaming.
Next up, we have Demi Burgess.
Remember those walls I built? Well, baby, they're tumbling down. They didn't even put up a fight. They didn't even make a sound. I found a way to let you in, but I never really had a doubt. Standing in the light of your halo, I've got my angel now. It's like I've been awakened. Every rule I had you breaking. It's the risk I'm taking. I ain't never gonna shut you out. Everywhere I'm looking now, I'm surrounded by your embrace. And baby, I can see your halo. You know you're my saving grace. You're everything I need and more. It's written all over your face. Baby, I can feel your halo. Pray it won't fade. Halo, halo. I can see your halo, halo.
This is Peter Thomas.
He lives in the dark, in person and in heart, in harmony with no one. Being a pessimist by nature does him no favors. You'd be brave enough to waver in his company. He'll shoot you down for anything, show you how I tried. And oh, he lives like nobody exists, and that would be his bliss. Coated warm with anger, he's no shadow lurker in your stories. He wants glory for what seems like nothing at all, nothing at all, nothing at all, yeah. He used to be a dreamer, how things change with a little heartache, how things change when you see it my way. Years ago, I felt I was getting somewhere. Maybe the air is clearing, maybe he's reappearing. No, still cold, yeah. No, still cold, still cold. He lives like nobody exists, and that will be his bliss. Coated warm with anger, he's no shadow lurker in your stories. He wants glory for what seems.
Our last performer is Nicola Minardi.
Io domani glielo dico che non l'amo più. Gli confesso che al suo posto ora ci sei tu. Ho lottato contro l'attrazione strana delle tue mani. Mi facevo scudo con un sentimento che era spento. Cosa importa se con lei dovrò dividerti. Meglio respirarla piano, la felicità, aspettandoti. Io domani avrò cura dei pensieri tuoi. Sarò donna oppure solo amica come tu mi vuoi. Guardami negli occhi, caro amore mio. Dimmi se...
Thank you to our last set of performers. Let's hear what the judges think, starting with Chris.
Oh, that's, you know, sometimes when we work at the show, it's just a, I've got to say, it's just like a real pleasure. It goes really quickly. I think it felt a bit disjointed. I felt like a lot of acts in this particular group didn't really know who they were as artists, and they hadn't really connected to who they were. And so for the priority acts, I'm going to be a little bit picky on a couple of points and not necessarily expand too much. But Amy Louise, to start with, it felt like you were, you know, I was talking over there and it's like, hang on a minute, where's our audience? You know, address your audience. And then when you did kind of do that, it's I just felt a bit already disconnected. You felt too far away and you just didn't address us straight on as us as the audience. And that was just an absolute schoolgirl error in that case. And so, and Demi Burgess, you know, you did try to make the cover different, but it's just by slowing it down, I don't think is enough. And we say every week, there's lots of articles on the Open Mic website you can go to, how to perform a creative cover, how to start writing lyrics. And I think that's where you need to head to. I think you really need to make things different and find out what is different from you, what is going to make you stand out as an artist, because there's so many super singers out there. You need to be different and unique, and you need to stand out and be like nothing else. And I think for both of those acts, they were just one point amongst a few that you could really work on and you need to work on.
Thank you, Chris. Julie.
Yes, definitely quite a mixed bag. Yeah, we said mixed bag a few weeks ago, so I think it's overdue to be said again. Definitely a mixed bag. And yeah, we had two priority acts, one who did an original and one who performed a cover. Amy, it was an original song. It had the makings of kind of being a bit of a kind of foot tapping, thigh slapping kind of thing, I guess. But I just found it was just a little bit too frantic, and I found it really, really hard to follow. And like Chris said, it was, you know, it was kind of all over the place. I just thought the surroundings that you were in, there was just too much wood for me. I am a fan of wood, but there was just too much. And yeah, I just wanted you to I wanted you to just keep still and perform to the camera, and it was just all the angle was a little bit strange. So I'm a bit disappointed, because I do think you're better than that. I think there's you know, such originality about you. I think there's quirkiness about you, but you really need to hone in on I'm going to say USP, because we haven't said that for a while. Yeah, you need to find out what is actually unique about you that you want to leave us with that lasting impression of. So yeah, just a little bit exhausting. Demi, you did a Beyonce cover. I mean, you know, it's a Beyonce cover, one of her most well-known, Halo. And yeah, whilst you definitely didn't try and do, you know, a Beyonce sound-alike. There was elements of it that were definitely, you know, you were able to put your own mark on. But I think, you know, as soon as we know that is the cover you're doing, we're listening for more. And it's been said before that, you know, in a competition like this, when there are so many original artists, and that is at the end of the day what we're looking for, you kind of, you know, you're setting off on the wrong foot to a degree. That being said, there's potential in your voice. I'm hearing really, really some nice tones there. But yeah, dig a little bit deeper and just see how much more original you can be.
Thank you, Julie. Leon.
Yeah, I guess based on judges' feedback, you know, what's really clear is, and to be expected from, you know, all of the artists here, that you're still on a journey, basically. You know, you're still finding your sound, you know, you're still working out what works for you, and, you know, it's a good thing. And I guess it's a great thing that you've also entered this competition just to kind of help you on that journey, to be honest. So just definitely don't be, can I put it, strayed or swayed by, you know, anything that you can take as a criticism or likewise, because it's all just to help you develop in the direction you need to. With Amy Louise, first one for feedback. Yeah, I felt the same, to be honest. There was a lot going on in your video. Definitely got a nice tone in the voice. I felt like you've got some good energy, but it's just about harnessing that in the right way, you know, delivering it at the right moments, to be honest. Backdrop, yeah, I wasn't so put off by it, to be honest. Quite simplified, to be honest, and it was pretty cool, but there was nothing really to kind of stand out to me on this occasion. So, you know, that's definitely something for you to work on. It's just to kind of find something a bit more distinctive for yourself. And Demi Burgess, again, you know, good voice, but there wasn't much, you know, like style or silkiness, you know, in your delivery. And I think, you know, just doing such a popular song as a cover, it needed to be totally pulled apart and something completely different, because the moment you try to just sing it in any kind of similar way, to be honest, as Julie alluded to, we're just expecting so much more because the original song had set such a benchmark. So it was definitely a missed opportunity there, because, you know, you definitely had a nice sound to your voice. It would have been nice to have heard something original.
Thank you, Leon. It's time to find out who's moving on to the next round and who will be receiving 75 votes from our judges. We begin with the judges' second choices, each receiving 75 votes, starting with Chris.
Well, you know, we feel she's on the right path here, but there's still a bit more improvement. I still pick up on our feedback, but thank you for telling us your name. So 75 points going to Kitten.
Thank you, Chris. Julie.
So this act got some really, really specific feedback. So please, take notice, take action, and please use these 75 points wisely. Mia Kirkland, we really hope you rally those votes and make it back to the semis.
Thank you, Julie and Leon.
Yeah, my 75 points. Going to go to a really cool artist, sounded really great. That will be Alicia Lang. Well done.
Thank you, Leon. And now the judges' choices, starting with Chris.
Well, I think all of us judges have kind of, you know, done, you know, this is now show 8, and, you know, there's been some shows that have gone off the stratosphere and some acts that have just not made it through. And although this act is a really potentially can go places, we feel they're really going to have to dig in and bring out something for the semi-final if it's going to be anything like the same levels we've seen from the other shows. But we see huge potential in them, but we need more engagement. We need a distinctive hook to really pull through. But going through is Sam Gherkin.
Thank you, Chris. Julie.
So another really, really great artist, actually one of the youngest in this category at just 19 years old. Huge potential, gorgeous originality in that voice. Peter Thomas, well done. Can't wait to see what you bring us next.
Thank you, Julie. Leon.
Yeah, this one going straight through. As always, really talented artist, great musicality, good song structure, but let's see a bit more thought into the amount of things that you're doing in the performance going ahead. But otherwise, well done to Leona May. Well done to you.
Thank you, Leon. Congratulations to those contestants. If your favorite did not move on, make sure you vote for them right now. We have just 2 live shows left, show 9 and 10, and then we move on to the semifinals of Open Mic. Thanks for watching.